Warning, I'm on a journey to handicap home runs in Major League Baseball. I'm not claiming to be sharp, and I'm not claiming to have an edge. I bet based on the three Ps, pitcher, park, and price. We probably won't win long term. This is for entertainment and education. If you like the video, and keep commenting. You guys are killing it with the comments. All day long. You guys blow up the comments. I love it. I can't respond to them all. I try to put a little heart on them when I can. I'm thankful for your guys' interaction and engagement. I'm glad you guys are having fun with this. It seems like you guys are hitting some bets yourself. So that's the whole goal. That's the point of it all. So I appreciate it. One guy yesterday even posted on TikTok. He, I guess, had an Achilles surgery, and he made like a vlog about it. And part of his day was watching my video, and he literally like recorded himself watching my video and tagged me in it. Like, that's cool. Like I never thought that I'd be making a video that people, would actually want to watch in the first place. So, complete strangers tuning in, it's humbling. It's awesome. So, yesterday, another positive day. That's 4 in a row. I just keep waiting around for the day we go negative, for the day I come back and say, we lost one. 4 in a row is great. We've rebounded from our negative position. We're up to 4 units total on the year. Hopefully we can get 4 home runs today, cross over that 100 benchmark. Josh Naylor, he redeemed himself 2 days in a row. Pavin Smith, Henderson, Ryan O'Hearn, Luke Raley, Oswaldo Cabrera was massive. I saw a huge discrepancy in the matchup yesterday, 13-1. Absolutely insane. I love it. I love it. I love it. Huge cash there. So yeah, we'll move on to today. And today, the bad part is there's a lot of good weather, a lot of neutral conditions, a lot of okay pitching, which means I got a lot of plays, which always makes me a little nervous. We'll start with a game in Wrigley. And I should just come out and say, you see that big number. Wind is blowing out. It is the most wind-receptive park in the nation. And so we should see a lot of home runs. And the odds are certainly adjusted for that. I saw no value. You can play this game if you want. If you like guys, of course we got Josh Naylor. Of course we got the Arizona bats that have been hitting for us. Of course there's guys that I like on the Cubs, but their prices are nearly half of what they have been any given day. So you're telling me that there is a double chance that they hit home runs given this win? Maybe, but I didn't feel like unloading. I played one guy, Nico Horner, 10-1 for the Cubs. This guy's price is consistently at this number. So everybody else gets their odds halved, and he stays the same. His matchup is fine as well. And the conditions are great. So again, if I played one guy, at a number I didn't love, I would have had to play 8 or 9 guys at numbers I didn't love. And I just didn't feel comfortable. So I'm kind of waiting to see how this all works with the wind and everything. Game in Baltimore should be also very favorable conditions. Spencer Steer, Matt McClain, Santino Espinal, and Austin Hayes revenge game here. Austin Hayes revenge game, used to play in Baltimore, spent a lot of seasons in Baltimore, familiar with the park, familiar with the visions, familiar with it all. He's hot this year as well. Already hit 2 or 3 on the year and within the past week, and he's 680. So I love that. And for Baltimore, Adley Rutschman, Ryan Mountcastle, Ramon Urias, Jordan Westberg would be all of my plays there. Again, a little bit of an unload here. Got 7 plays. We probably need to hit 2. If we hit 1, it essentially breaks us even. But I guess we have 8. Yeah, we got to hit 2 out of this. But I feel good. We've been hitting 2 in our Baltimore games. So yeah, let's we'll keep riding it. We'll keep trying the strategy until it ultimately fails us. So yeah, I've not played a game in Colorado either. So we got a game in Wrigley with the wind blowing out where I'm only playing one guy, and then we have a game at altitude at Coors Field where everybody loves home runs, and I'm not playing anybody. And this may come back to bite me, but it's going to be 34 degrees in Colorado with the wind blowing in. It's a pretty low wind receptive stadium, which means wind doesn't impact it too much, but I don't like 34 degrees. The pitching matchups were like Mackenzie Gore is pretty solid for Washington, so I didn't like any Colorado bats. It's just a skip for me. Boston and the Red Sox, only one play. Andrew Vaughn, I think, is overpriced or mispriced, underpriced. I guess it would be $650. I think $450 is probably closer to fair. Everybody else, in terms of odds, wasn't interesting to me, so I skipped those. Miami and Philadelphia, another park with good conditions. Wind is blowing out. Temperatures are in the 70s. And so I have Bryce Harper and Nick Castellanos, only two guys that I saw with value for the Phillies. And then for the other side of the ball, how many times am I going to go back to the Miami well? I don't know. But we're going back to the Miami well again. Jesus Sanchez, Matt Mervis, Griffin Coney, Otto Lopez, and Kyle Stowers. That's a lot of guys. That's 5 players. Now, one of them hits a home run. We either break even or we profit. So, again, this is a strategy that I'm kind of employing. I'm building a position in a situation where I think there's a pitching advantage and a park advantage, and I'm laying out a net, and if we can catch one fish in that net, we profit. If we can catch 2, we're feeling really good. And heaven forbid, we catch 3 fish today. That's all I'm going to say there. Game in Detroit, I think, has some interesting advantages. I'm only taking right-handers in this one, simply because of what that wind is doing. It's like 20 miles an hour, and if a lefty's going to pull it, he's pulling it into the wind, and a lefty could very well hit a home run in this conditions today, right? I'm not saying that they can't, but I'm saying I don't think long-term it's a viable strategy. So I do think there's some righties with good prices and a good advantage in the pitching scenario. Gleyber Torres is the only Detroit guy I'm playing at 800, I think is way too favorable. Jonathan India, Salvador Perez, and Bobby Witt Jr. are the other plays. We hit one of these guys, we profit. And I feel good about Bobby Witt Jr. at 450. I really like that number with his matchup today. Moving to the game in Pittsburgh, I maybe underplayed this a little bit. I only have Brian Reynolds today. I looked at a lot of people, but ultimately their price steered me away, like Jose Ramirez is in the 300s. Santana, I didn't like the number. I toyed with it. I went back and forth, but ultimately Brian Reynolds is the only guy I saw with some value, so I went with him. Dodgers in Texas, we have DeGrom and Yamamoto on the mound, and neither of which have been tremendously sharp this year. So I am playing a couple of Rangers. I'm not playing any Dodgers against DeGrom today. Ohtani was the only guy I liked matchup-wise, and Freeman, I guess, a little bit matchup-wise, but Freeman was low 400s, if not in the 3s, and Ohtani was 250. So I laid off. So those are guys that, like, if you don't care about price, which I would advise you to start caring about price, but if you just care about, like, I want a guy who's going to hit a home run, right? Like, and I'm not saying they are, but like matchup-wise, Ohtani and Freeman are good plays. I just don't think their prices are fair as it relates to their matchup, but that's my opinion. You can do whatever you like. Jock Peterson at 680, another revenge game, playing the Dodgers, and he hasn't hit one this year, I don't believe, but he's a guy that's fully capable, and I think Yamamoto is gettable, and I think Peterson hits his pitch mix, that is Yamamoto's pitch mix, pretty well. I said above 450 I was playing him. 680 is well above 450. So that's why he's green. Tremendous value on Jock here. You get the narrative. If you're a narratives guy, revenge game, Dodgers coming to town. There you go. Corey Seager at 425 I'm also playing. Game in Milwaukee is interesting just because these Oakland A's bats are swinging. You got Blade, you got Langoliers, you got Rooker, you got Butler, you got Soderstrom. I mean, anybody in the top 5 of their order can hit a home run. And the market has caught up. I remember we got Soderstrom at 600 the first couple weeks in the season, or the first few days in the season. And now he's in the 300s, low 400s. And I'm not saying he's not worth that. He's leading the MLB in home runs. But with the matchup today against Peralta, I think it's not a favorable spot. So I'm going with Yelich at 540. I'm going with Sal Frelick and Bryce Turang at 13-1. Guys whose matchups are very good today against JT Ginn. So we've had success chasing these double-digit picks, or triple-digit picks, or quadruple-digit, over 10-1. We've had. I mean, that's kind of where our bread and butter has been. So I'm not going to shy away from it when I see value. I'm not going to chase it when I don't, but I see value in both of those guys, so we'll play them. And then JJ Bleday, I think, is the one athletics bat who's priced well in this situation. 630. Game in Toronto, I have 2 plays. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. I will tell you, I think it's green at 650. I just went on to check when I was doing my parlay, which we'll talk about in a second. It's 700. So the parlay odds that I have is based on the 700 number, but I have the straight at 650, so I'm not going to fudge it in any way. It's at 700, which I love as well. So, Brian Woo's pitching, pretty good pitcher, pitches significantly better at home than on the road. That could be anecdotal, but that's what the info says. Vlad's hot, right? He just hit one. Got the streak broken of no home runs. And then Jimenez at 8 to 1, a little bit of an oddball flyer, but I think there's value in that number. I promise we will be done here soon, but again, like I said, there's a lot of plays today. Minnesota and Atlanta. Alex Verdugo recalled from AAA, which maybe you don't want to target a guy his first game in, but if you know me from my old Dinger Tuesday videos, I love a Verdugo bomb. And we're going to go with it at 10 to 1. Marcelo Zuna at 420, Matt Olson at 400, Ozzie Albies at 650, all for the Braves. And then for the Minnesota Twins, only Julian, leadoff guy. They've got some injuries on this team. I looked at Willie Castro. Nobody had lines up, so I don't know if he's going to start or not. But Julian at 9 to 1, good price, good park, decent matchup. So we'll lock him in. The Yankees and the Rays, last night, a little disappointment besides Cabrera. I mean, if Cabrera doesn't hit, we obviously lose that game because we overextended. The Rays stadium is home run friendly. But, got to be careful. And so today I'm being careful because I don't see, again, a ton of value. Yandy Diaz at 480 against Rodon, Danny Jansen and Curtis Mead at 520 and 900 against Rodon. I am a Rodon hater. I think Rodon either is electric or what's the opposite of electric? Dead, unelectric, no power, no sauce. I think that there are some righties who can get after him today, and I've played 3 of them. I didn't play any Yankees. Judge is the only guy I liked from a matchup standpoint, and it's very rare I'm going to play Judge. Again, I'd take his 2 home runs before I take his 1 home runs. This game in LA is very intriguing to me because I think you're getting good prices based on the fact that the pitcher is Logan Webb. Now, I am playing Wilmer Flores for the Giants against Tyler Anderson. Really good spot here for Wilmer Flores for the Giants. But as far as my Angels bats go, like I said, I think Logan Webb is generating a lot of attention. Great pitcher, does good things, but I don't know if the prices are appropriate for the batters he's facing. So the value that I saw was in Nolan Schanuel. We'll go back to him. We'll go back to the Schanuel, if you will. 15 to 1. It's a green play. Then we got Mike Trout at 475. Very shocked to see that. I was going to play him at anything above 400. Shocked, and I didn't have optimism that he would be above 400. So very pleased with that number. And then Taylor Ward, I was going to play above 650. So I think there's value, significant value in both of these guys. But again, it's yellow, and somebody asked about the colors. It's yellow because I'm not sold on the pitcher. Logan Webb is good. The park is great. The price is great. The pitching matchup, it's okay. If the pitching matchup was horrible, then it's green, right? But then the price probably ticks back. So see how this all balances out. And let me just say, maybe you shouldn't take any of the green plays anyway. We're down almost 3 units on green plays. Our red plays seem to be where the money's at. Houston and San Diego. And then we'll do St. Louis and the Mets, and we won't come back to this page. But Isaac Paredes at 520, Jose Altuve at 500, Jeremy Pena at 630, Christian Walker at 420. One of those guys hits, we are in the profit. I think the setup is good for such. Other side of the ball, Luis Arraez at 11 to 1, not a home run hitter. I mean, he's not. He's probably not going to have double-digit home runs this season. So then you could argue that 11 to 1 is maybe not a good price, but this is one of the best matchups pitcher-wise that he could have, and the park is fine. So, yeah, we're going to fire on him at 11 to 1, and then Xander Bogaerts at 7 to 1 I think is very, very good. Park-wise with the short porch and left, price at 7 to 1, great in the pitching matchup. So everything about Xander Bogaerts screams play for the green alerts. And then, like I said, for the last game, I didn't like any Mets. Nothing jumped off the page for the Mets, but for the Cardinals, Nolan Arenado at 750, Wilson Contreras at 680, and Pedro Pagés at 9-1. Those are all my straights. That's a lot of them. Again, guys, it sounds like you guys are doing a good job of picking and choosing where you want to play certain things. Again, I would not recommend unloading as I have in these instances and playing everything. Just do what you're comfortable with. As for my parlays, both of these are using a boost. So let that be known. The FanDuel, Austin Hayes and Jock Peterson, both plus 680, both in revenge games. You're giving me two guys in revenge games who can hit home runs against their former teams, and they're both priced identically. I'm unloading. We're using our FanDuel boost. It's 30% on any MLB wager today, 2 legs, 0.1 units to pay 7,779. And then for the DraftKings no sweat home run bet, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. at that 700, like I said, and Nolan Shonawell. It's a big number, 127-1. So again, I think I've been going a little too wild with the blue picks. We're gonna just keep it at 2 today, but feel free to do whatever you want to do in those instances. Those are just my official tracked plays. Again, guys, it's a beautiful day where I reside. Super windy though. I stayed up way too late last night. Probably tried to get some sleep. I don't know. I was gonna go golf. Maybe. I went golfing yesterday. Got hit with a ball for the first time in my life. There was no etiquette, no kindness from the gentleman who smoked me in the leg. I still have a bruise on my leg from it. Maybe I can show you guys. I don't want to put my leg up here. Just like a welt. So what happens is I'm standing on hole 4, par 5. I got about a 220-yard shot in. I'm not going to reach the green, but the guys are on the green, so I'm just kind of waiting for them to get off. I don't want to hit one up by the green, so being respectful. And the solo, old gentleman, long white ponytail, sort of a cowboy hat, is teeing off on hole 5. And I'm standing there waiting, and I'm not looking in his direction because I'm looking down at my hole. And then all of a sudden, I just feel something on my leg, and I'm like, right? And good grief, right? And I look at him, and he's like re-teeing another ball. Like he's going to hit another ball. His ball's not out of bounds. What are you doing? So I made a decision that I don't think is kind. I regret this, and I have a guilty conscience. But the ball was laying right there. I picked it up, and I put it in my pocket. I said, if you're going to hit me and you're not going to yell 4, it's my ball. Which in some ways, like if we think about the balance of the earth and the ecosystem, I think that's fair. But what I didn't expect was, so then I hit my ball and I'm walking away. I didn't expect him to drive up to me. He drove up to me and he said, I didn't hit you, did I? And I had a couple of choices. I could be honest and make him feel bad, maybe potentially ruin his day. So I lied and I said, no, I didn't even see it. I don't like to lie, but I felt like I was protecting him with that lie. So I felt justified in it. No, I didn't even see it. And this man has the audacity to look at me and say, well, you jumped. You know what I did? Because I was trapped. I laughed and I walked away. So he pulls up. I didn't hit you, did I? No, didn't even see it. No. Well, you jumped. And I walk away with his ball in my pocket because I'm not gonna be like, you're right, you hit me and I took your ball. We're too far gone in that situation. So I lied, and then he called me kind of out on my lie, and then I just laughed. I laughed and I walked away with the ball in my pocket. It was a max fly too. It wasn't even a ball that I want to use. A max fly with a scuff on it. Whatever. So I might go golf today. We'll see. Take care. Love you guys. Let's make it 5 days in a row.